we will be discussing the schedule, certain schedules of the act as well as the rules, and we will discuss in detail about good manufacturing practices as well. Okay, so in this chapter, in this class, you will learn about basically Drugs and Cosmetic Act and Rule. And in this PowerPoint, the main contents of the class is objectives. First, we will learn about the objectives of Drugs and Cosmetic Act. Why it is needed, or what is the necessity of the act. And secondly, we will learn about the chapters of this act, Drugs and Cosmetic Act. Then we will learn about certain definitions that has been explained in the act, that is regarding the definitions of and what is drug, what is manufacturing, what is cosmetic. So those kinds of definitions will be dealt. And basically the basic administrative form of Drugs and Cosmetic Act will be learned. And after that, the schedules of the act as well as the rule. There are certain schedules to the act as well as there are certain schedules to the rules also. So those will be dealt in detail. And certain provisions which are related to Ayurveda, Siddha, and Unani medicines are explained in the certain important provisions that you have to learn for the examination, and for the purpose of as a general knowledge also. When you are in the especially if you are interested in the manufacturing Ayurveda medicines in large scale, it is good to know certain provisions that are included in the act itself. So we will learn those aspects of the act as well as rule regarding the manufacturing of large scale manufacture of Ayurveda, Siddha, and Unani medicines, especially for as far as I'm concerned, Ayurveda medicines. Okay. So first we will learn about the objectives of the Drugs and Cosmetic Act. What is the necessity of this act? Why it is needed? So the first objective is to regulate. So the Drugs and Cosmetic Act covers all the provisions that are related to manufacture, sale, and distribution of allopathic medicines as well as Ayurveda, Siddha, and Unani medicines. So the objectives will cover all the aspects of the drug utility. So first objective is to regulate the import of the drugs, import, manufacture, distribution, and sale of drugs and cosmetics through licensing. So how the regulation is done? That is done through proper licensing. So if you want to sell or if you want to manufacture your own medicine, you have to get a license from the authority. So that is the first objective. Second objective is manufacture, distribution, and sale of drugs and cosmetics by qualified persons only. And third objective is to regulate the manufacture and sale of Ayurveda, Siddha, and Unani drugs. Since Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani are basically from produced in India, there are no provisions that are related to import of the drugs. So to regulate the manufacture, the sale, and distribution of Ayurveda, Siddha, and Unani medicines is the one of the objective of Drug and Cosmetic Act. And to establish the administrative aspects also, to establish drugs technical advisory board, that is DTAB, drugs consultative committees, that is DCC, for allopathic and allied drugs and cosmetics. So these are the four main objectives of Drugs and Cosmetic Act. First one being to regulate the import, manufacture, distribution, and sale of drugs and cosmetics through licensing. That is the main objective of Drugs and Cosmetic Act. So as far as us concerned, to regulate the manufacture and sale of Ayurveda, Siddha, and Unani medicines through licensing. So that is the objectives. The provisions that are covered in the Act are import, manufacturing, sales, labeling, and packaging. So these are the four provisions that are given importance through licensing. Next, we will look upon certain definitions that are explained in the Act. So, what is a drug? If you hear the word drug, what all are included in the term drug? So all the medicines which are used for internal as well as external purposes, uh, and human beings as well as which is applied to human beings as well as animals. So animal medicines as well as human medicines are coming under the provision of the term drug. All the medicines for internal or external use of human beings or animals, and all substances intended to be used for diagnosis, treatment, mitigation, or prevention of any disease or disorder in human beings or animals, including the preparations applied on the human body for the purpose of repelling insects like mosquitoes. So the mosquito repellents that are applied in the form of a cream that are also that will also comes under the category of drug as per Drugs and Cosmetic Act. So it can be internal or external application. It can be given to human as well as animals, or it can be used for diagnosis, treatment, mitigation, or prevention. All those substances will comes under the term drugs. So this is the definition of drug. Second one is cosmetic. So any article intended to be rubbed, poured, sprinkled, or sprayed or introduced into, or otherwise applied to as creams on the human body or any part of the human body for cleansing, beautifying, promoting attractiveness, or altering the appearance. So all the cosmetic products like a foundation or certain powders and all will comes under this, and lipstick and mascara, eyeliner, all these are for the purpose of cleansing. So for the purpose of cleansing lotions that are included in the cosmetic. For the purpose of beautifying, so the lipstick, mascara, eyeliner, all those will comes under cosmetic category. And promoting attractiveness. So these are the uses of cosmetics, and any article which are used in any form. So it can be applied by rubbing or pouring or sprinkled or sprayed upon. So all those articles which are introduced into or applied on human body for cleansing, beautifying, or promoting attractiveness will comes under cosmetic. So this is the definition of cosmetics. Okay. Next one is manufacture. So what is the meaning of manufacture? What is the definition of manufacture? So in relation to any drugs and cosmetics, it includes any process or a part of process. So it can be a process as a whole, or it can be any part of process also termed as manufacture if it is used for making, altering, ornamenting, finishing, packing, labeling, breaking up, or otherwise treating or adopting any drug or cosmetics with a view to its sale and distribution. So, with a view to it is only termed as manufacture if it is used for the purpose of sale or distribution of drugs, which are and all the processes that are related to the process of related to the production of a drug, like making, altering, packing, labeling. All those processes will come under manufacture, but except the retail, if the packing or labeling is done as a part of retail business or retail selling, that won't comes under the term manufacture. So all the process that are done before the medicine has been distributed. So up to that, the process is known as manufacture, and after that the compounding. If the two medicines are like in our kashaya, we have kashaya sukshma churna. So up to the production of the packed kashaya churnam, it is known as manufacture. And after that, we will ask the patient to make the kashayas by adding two tablespoons of kashaya into two glasses of water, and all those procedure will not comes under the term manufacture. So that is actually we are advising, or we are asking the patient to do. or asking the patient to take the medicine in such a way, in a certain way. But all the process up to it is packed in a good pack or packed and labeled properly. Up to that only manufacture, the term manufacture, we will use the term manufacture. Okay. So that is the definition of manufacture in relation to any drug or cosmetic. It includes, manufacture includes any process or a part of process for making, altering, ornamenting, finishing, packing, labeling, breaking up, or otherwise treating or adopting any drug or cosmetics with a view to its sale or distribution. Okay. Next one is patent or proprietary medicine. What is patent or proprietary medicine? We know the in Drugs and Cosmetic Act there has been certain books mentioned, including the Ayurvedic Pharmacopoeia of India, and other books are also included. Like there are 54 books are included in the Schedule 1 of Drugs and Cosmetic Act. So so all the medicines that are Anjana, can you pause for a minute? Patent or proprietary medicine. So, what is patent or proprietary medicine? The definition of patent medicine is a drug which is a remedy or prescription presented in a form ready for internal or external administration of human beings or animals, and which is not, this is the important part, which is not included in any edition of Indian Pharmacopoeia or any other pharmacopoeias. So that includes our Ayurvedic Pharmacopoeia of India also. So, a drug which is a remedy. The patent drug, the definition of drug actually includes to, or actually extends to the definition of patent drug also. But there is a slight difference. The only difference is that it will not be, that patent medicine is not found in any of the medicines which are not found in any of the pharmacopoeias that are included in the Drugs and Cosmetic Act is considered as a patent, which is not mentioned in any of the classical textbooks. So that is the difference between patent drug and the usual drug. Rest of the definitions are same. Okay. Next. Okay, next one is the administration of Act and rules. So, how the Act has been regulated, how the Act has been made, or how the amendments are made in the Act. So, what are the functioning authority of the Act? So, there are three categories of functions that are done in Drugs and Cosmetic Act. That they are advisory aspect, analytical aspect, as well as executives. So executives are the one who are actually who are actually checked whether the act or rules have been implemented improperly. So the first one is advisory. So advisory is there are two advisory board. That is, first one is Drugs Technical Advisory Board, that is DTAB, and Drugs Consultative Committee, that is DCC. The members of these two we will discuss in later. The members and the form of this Drugs Technical Advisory Board, that we will discuss in later. But next one is the analytical aspect. So the analytical aspects, those will the laboratories. There are like a several central laboratories are there for maintaining standards for each and every drug that have been imported or produced in the country. So for that purpose, there are like several laboratories are considered as an authority or appellate authority. So the first one is the Central Drugs Laboratory that is situated in the Calcutta. That is the central laboratory, which is the appellate authority in case of any dispute and all. So analytical aspects, we will send the inspector who, after the inspection, if the inspector collects any medicine from the pharmacies, will send the sample of the medicine to the central drug authority for the final decision or for the final opinion. So that is the importance of central drug authority, which is situated in the Kolkata. And second one is each state will have a central drug control laboratories for the analysis and all, and a government analyst. So that is mean that we will learn about learn in the provisions of the act. What are the qualifications of the analyst, and what are the procedure of what are the power of the analyst. Okay, so what are the duties of the analyst? Okay. And next one is the executive. So executives, the act has been executed, or the provisions of the act has been executed or implemented by the executive committee. That is, licensing authorities will be there, and controlling authorities and drug inspectors. So those are the executive part of the Drug and Cosmetic Act. Okay. So these are the administration of act. An advisory board is the analytical aspects. There are certain laboratories are considered. Laboratories are fixed, and we will send the samples to the laboratories for the opinion and all, for the analysis and all. So advisory board, analytical board, and executive board. So these are the three level of administration that are found in the forms the administration of a Drugs and Cosmetic Act. Okay. Next one is we will learn about the Drugs Technical Advisory Board, Drug Consultative Committee later when we learn about the provisions of the Act. But I will explain to you the idea behind a central drug laboratory. Okay, so this has been established in Calcutta, and it is under the control of a director, which is appointed by central government. Okay, the functions of the laboratory are analysis or test of samples of drugs and cosmetics sent by custom collectors or courts, or either it can be sent by inspectors or analysts. Analysts can directly send inspectors can directly send these samples to central laboratory whenever he or she the inspector collects a sample from a pharmacy or anywhere. It is not necessary to collect it from the pharmacy itself. It can be directly collected from the manufacturing unit or pharmacy or medical shops. So they can search any place of any place which in which the drugs are being manufactured or sold. So or even during the transportation also, they can actually stop the vehicle and search if it is necessary, or if they have the doubt, if they have to do the search and all, they can do that. So that is the power of drug inspectors. So they can actually send this as soon as they collect the sample, they will send the sample to central drug laboratory. And analytical quality control of the important samples. So that is the second function of a CDL. Preparation of reference standards and their maintenance. Maintenance of microbial cultures and any other duties entrusted by central government. And they also act as an appellate authority in the matter of disputes. So these are the functions of central drug laboratory. Okay. Next we will move on to the chapters of this act. There are 5 chapters. The first chapter is introductory chapter, where where we can find the definitions of each and every term. That is the like drug manufacturer, cosmetics, and all those definitions we can find it in the introductory chapter. And second chapter is contributed to the Technical Advisory Board, Central Drug Laboratory, and Drug Consultative Committee. And the third chapter is the provisions regarding the import of drugs and cosmetics to India. And fourth chapter is the provisions which are related to manufacture, sale, distribution of drugs and cosmetics. Okay, there is a provision. There is a provision which are added later. The Drugs and Cosmetic Act came into force by in 1940, and the rules were came to force by 1945. But only during 1962, the Ayurveda, the provisions which are related to the manufacture of Ayurveda, Siddha, and Unani medicines are added only during 1962. So those chapters are added as a additional chapters, additional section of chapter 4. That is chapter 4A, that deals with the provisions regarding the manufacture, sale, distribution of drugs and cosmetics related to Ayurveda, Siddha, and Unani medicines. Okay, the fifth chapter is miscellaneous chapter. So now we will move on to the schedules of the act. So there are like two schedules for the act, and there are more than 20 schedules for the drugs and cosmetic rules. So the first we will look upon the two schedules of the act. So the first schedule deals with the authoritative books related to Ayurveda, Siddha, and Unani medicine. The second schedule that actually deals with the standards to be compiled with the by imported drugs, and the drugs are manufactured in India also. So all those standards has to be are explained in the second schedule. The standards to be compiled with the complied with the imported drugs and drugs manufactured for sale, stocked or exhibited, and sale for and distributed also. Distributed drugs are also have to comply with certain standards. So those are also included in the second schedule. So in the second schedule, we cannot see the tests and all. The analytical tests and all that has been explained later in the chapters, but and we have to the standards to be compiled with that means there are we know that in pharmacopoeia, in Ayurvedic pharmacopoeia of India, there are certain standards that are mentioned for the identity, purity, quality, and strength of raw materials as well as the formulations. So you have to check upon the authoritative books for the standards. That has been explained in the schedule 2, the second schedule. Okay, there are no extra standards or that are mentioned in the second schedule. Only the references where you have to find the standards, or you have to comply with the standards that has been mentioned in these books. So those kinds of things are mentioned in the second schedule. The first schedule, authoritative books are mentioned in, from which we only the medicines that are explained in the authoritative books can be can get the license from the drug licensing authority. But other than that, we can apply for the license for the patent or a proprietary medicine. Okay. So these are the books which are explained in the first schedule. So it starts with Arogya Kalpadramam. There are like 54 books are explained. 54, the 54th book is Bangasena, and there are like subsections for 54, that is ABCD, in which they have explained Ayurveda Sara Sangraham, Ayurvedic Formula of India and its parts, Ayurvedic Pharmacopoeia of India, and Ayurvedic Pharmacopoeia of India and its parts. So, so these are the authoritative books from which we can select any medicine and apply for the license. So in which you can see that Rasatarangani is mentioned, Bhavaprakaša is mentioned, Kovibakwa Rasayana, Nighandu Ratnagara, Rasarindamshu, Rasaraja Sundara, Rasaratna Samuchaya, Sahasra Yoga. All these texts are explained in the first schedule. Okay. Next, we will move on to the schedules to the rules. There are certain schedules that are explained for the rules also. So the first, so these schedules are named alphabetically. So the first schedule, that is A. Schedule A actually explains about the performance or the form or certain forms that are needed for the regulations. That is like there are certain forms are to be submitted to get the license. So all those forms, application, issue, renewal, all those forms are we can find it in Schedule A. Like we have to apply the drug license in the form 24D. So all those forms we can find it in the Schedule A section. So if you want to renew or if you there are certain forms for certain purposes. So if you want to apply for the drug license, there is a 24D, and if you want to renew it, there are like certain other forms are also there. So for the purpose of getting a approval for the quality analysis center or a QC in the institution, you have to apply it in the form 48. So all those kinds of forms are, and for GMP, there is a certain form that is 26 E bar 1. So all those forms you can find it in A schedule. And Schedule B deals with the rate or fee of the tests or analysis done by CDL, Central Drug Laboratory, or government analysis. Schedule C deals with the biological or special products applicable to special provisions. All the biological products and the provisions related to the biological products are dealt in Schedule C. In Schedule D, you can find the drugs which are exempted from the provisions of import. And Schedule E1, this is important important to Ayurveda, because Schedule E1 actually lists certain poisonous substances under Ayurveda, Siddha, and Unani medicines. There are like 21 drugs are mentioned in Schedule E1, in which you can find Gauri Pashana, Haridala, Manashila, Hingula, Parada, and all the Ubavishas, which are explained in Taringani, except Suhikshira, and Vatsanavi is mentioned, Parasiga Yavani, Gandhi. So these are the 21 medicines, the 21 poisonous substances that are included in Schedule E1. Okay, Schedule F actually deals with the provisions applicable to blood bank. F1 provisions applicable to vaccine and all. F2 is for surgical dressing, and F3 is for standards for umbilical tapes. FF is for standards for ophthalmic preparations. Schedule G actually list of substances that are to be used under the medical supervision, of a doctor. So those medicines are explained in Schedule G. In Schedule H is the medicines, the list of medicines which are to be sold when you produce a prescription. So only with the prescription you will be the pharmacy will be able to sell the medicine. So those medicines are explained in Schedule H. And Schedule J is there are certain diseases, a list of diseases and ailments that a drug should not claim to cure. So, there are diabetes is there, and those kinds of diseases. The diseases those should not we claim. We should not claim that a drug is good for this disease. So all those kinds of diseases are explained under the Schedule J. So what are the diseases that should not claim a drug will cure? So all those diseases you can find it in Schedule J. And Schedule K is the provisions regarding the list of drugs that are exempted from certain provisions regarding the manufacture. So these drugs should not be manufactured. So there are some exemptions. So those are included in the Schedule K. Schedule M is the GMP, good manufacturing practices for allopathic medicines are explained in Schedule M. Schedule M1 is the good manufacturing practices for homeopathic medicines. And Schedule M2 is requirements of factory premises for manufacture of cosmetics. And M3 is requirements of factory premises for manufacture of medical devices. And Schedule N deals with the list or gives the list of equipments to run a pharmacy. So what are the equipments are needed to run a pharmacy? So you can find that in Schedule N. And Schedule O deals with the standards of disinfectant fluids. And Schedule P deals with the life period or expiry date of the drugs. And Schedule Q is dye or colors or permitted to be used in the cosmetics. You can find it in Schedule Q. And Schedule R is standards for mechanical contraceptives. And R1 is standards for medical devices. And S standards for cosmetics. So if you want to know the standards of cosmetics, you can actually go and refer the Schedule S of Drug and Cosmetic Rule. Okay. Then Schedule T, this is an important one, that is GMP, Good Manufacturing Practices, which is for Ayurveda, Siddha and Unani medicine. And Schedule U is the provisions which explains the analytical records or batch manufacturing records, BMR. Okay. Then Schedule B is standards that are to be complied with the patent or proprietary medicines. Schedule X is list of narcotic drugs and psychotropic substances. Schedule Y is the requirement and the guidelines of clinical trials for import and manufacture of new drugs. If you want to do a clinical trial, there are certain provisions that have to be followed. So all those provisions you can find it in Schedule Y. Okay. So these are the important aspects of or important schedules of drugs and cosmetic rule. Okay. So we have learned about the objectives of Drug and Cosmetic Act. There are 4 objectives: to regulate the manufacture, sale, distribution of medicines, distribution of drugs through licensing. So the drugs of Ayurveda, Siddha and Unani medicine through licensing. So that is the important objective of Drug and Cosmetic Act. And we also learned about the schedules, 2 schedules of Drug and Cosmetic Act and the schedules of Drug and Cosmetic rules also. So now we will learn about the act provisions of related provisions that are related to Ayurveda, Siddha and Unani medicines in the act as well as in the rule. So the first, in the chapter 4A, the details regarding the manufacture, sale are explained in chapter 4A of Drug and Cosmetic Act. So from 33B, the sections from 33B are applicable to Ayurveda, Siddha and Unani medicine. So the first one is the advisory board. As I mentioned earlier, there are some administrative levels of Drug and Cosmetic Act. The first level is advisory board. Second level is analytical, and third level is executive. The first level drug advisory, in drug advisory technique level, you can find that there are 2 sections, that is Drug Technical Advisory Board as well as Drug Consultative Committee. So what are the structure of Drug Technical Advisory Board? So we can see that that has been explained in 33C section, Drug Technical Advisory Board. So the Director General of Health Services, ex officio, can also be that person. So there are like certain 13 members are there, but from the members they can the central government can appoint a person as a director. Director General of Health Services and Drug Controller of India, and the principal officer dealing with the Indian systems of medicine in the Ministry of Health, the Director of Health Central Drug Laboratory, Calcutta, and one person holding the appointment as a central drug analyst that has been nominated by central government, and one pharmacognosist nominated by central government, one phytochemist nominated by central government, 4 persons nominated by central government, 2 from among the Ayurvedic Pharmacopoeia Committee, 1 from among Unani Pharmacopoeia Committee, and 1 from Siddha Pharmacopoeia Committee. Okay, 1 teacher from Dravya Guna and Vaisheshya Kalpana, that has to be nominated by that person has to be nominated by central government only, and 1 person from Unani and 1 person from Siddha. and 3 persons from Ayurveda, Siddha, and Unani drug industry, and 3 persons from Ayurveda, Siddha, Unani practitioners. So these are the so this is the structure, basic structure of DTAB, Drug Technical Advisory Board. One director, then ministry, from ministry there will be a person, and from the director of the Central Drug Laboratory, and a government analyst will be the, and pharmacognosist, phytochemist. And after that, 4 persons from 2 from Ayurveda Pharmacopoeia Committee, one from Siddha Committee, Siddha Pharmacopoeia Committee, and one from Unani Pharmacopoeia Committee, and one Dravyaguna Vaishya teacher, and one from each Siddha and Unani academic profession, and 3 persons from a production, the drug industry, and 3 persons from a practitioners, Ayurveda practitioners. So this is the third. So there is 13 members are there. The central government shall appoint a member of the board as a chairman. Okay. Then the board during the board actually hold office for 3 years, and after that the other members are also eligible for re-nomination. So this is the structure of DTAB. That is not that much important, but still it is good to know all these informations. And the next one is the consultative committee. The relevance of the consultative committee or DCC is to advise the Technical Advisory Board on any matter for the purpose of securing uniformity throughout the India in administration of the Act. So we have to make sure that the rules have been followed by any, the people anywhere in India. So there has to be a uniformity in administration of the Act, or in implementation of the Act. So that for that purpose, the DCC is formulated. And so in DCC, so these are the DCC and DTAB, the Technical Advisory Board. And next one is so these are the important ones. So this is just a structure of DTAB and DCC of Ayurveda, Siddha, and Unani medicine. And next we will look upon the misbranded drugs, certain provisions that are really important to know. So section 33E deals with the misbranded drugs. So what is the meaning of misbranded drugs? So if the drugs are colored, coated, powdered, or polished in any way so that the damage of the medicine can be sealed or concealed, or it can be made better than it actually is, or it claims that it have a greater therapeutic value. All these are comes under misbranded drugs. So it is misbranded. And there are certain other provisions are also comes under the misbranded drugs if it is not labeled in the prescribed manner. So there is a prescription, or there is a prescribed manner for labeling of medicines in Ayurveda, Siddha, and Unani provisions. So if it is not followed that prescription properly, it will also comes under misbranded drugs. If it's a label or container or anything, the drug bearers have a statement which makes any false claim that the drug is good for, or drug will cure this particular disease. So if the packet of the medicine contain any such claims, that will comes under the misbranded drugs. So false claim, if it is not labeled properly, if the medicines are colored, coated, powdered, or polished to conceal the damage of the drug. So these 3 categories will come under misbranded drugs. So the section which deals with the misbranded drugs is 33E. For the degree point of view, you don't have to know about all these sections and all. You have to know about the misbranded drug. What is the meaning of misbranded drugs? What is the definition and all? There is no need to know all these sections and all. But for the purpose of entrance examination in the PG, as well as for the PG exams also, you have to know about these sections. That is 33E. That is usually these questions will come for the entrance examinations. So misbranded drugs, which is the section that deals with the misbranded drugs for Ayurveda, Siddha, and Unani medicine. So 33E is the section. Next one is 33EE, that is adulterated drugs. So what is the meaning of adulterated drugs? So if it consists in a whole as a, or a part of any filthy, putrid or decomposed substances. So that is not as adulterated. So adulteration can be the drugs has been adulterated with any filthy, putrid or decomposed substance. It is known as adulterated. Or and the next section is or it has been prepared, packed, or stored under insanitary conditions. So, whereby it has been contaminated with filthy, putrid, and decomposed substances. So, that is also comes under adulterated drug. Or it is when it is composed in a whole or a part of any poisonous or deleterious substance which may render the contents injurious to health. So those will also contain adulterated drugs. And the next section is if it bears if it is bears the color other than one which is prescribed in the Drug and Cosmetic Act. So for the purpose of coloring only, that has been included. But if it is not prescribed in the Act or if it is not prescribed in the schedule, that is also considered as an adulteration. So if it contains any toxic or harmful substance, that is also considered as adulteration. Or if it is mixed with any other drugs, thereby we reduce the quality of the medicine. Those substances will also considered as adulteration. So the main point is if the drug has been mixed with any harmful substance or any filthy or low quality substance, so that so that they can actually save they can make a profit by selling it. So all those categories of medicines are known as adulterated drugs. So if it contains a whole or a part, it can be adulteration can be done as a whole or a part also. So all those known as putrid or which are putrid or decomposed substances. So we know that for Kambillaga, we know that that has been always mixed with the Ishtiga churna. So Ishtiga churna doesn't have a therapeutic quality. It is a filthy. It is a substance that will reduce the quality of Kambillaga. So that is known as adulteration. So likewise, we can see many things that have been adulterated to drugs, like in Parada itself. For the purpose of increasing the weight of the Parada, they will add Naga and Vanga and all. So to increase the quality, increase the weight, but that will actually decrease the quality of the raw material. So that all comes under adulteration. If it is composed by a harmful substance or if it composed by a poisonous substance, that is also considered as an adulteration. Okay. Next one is spurious drugs. So section 33EEA deals with the spurious drugs. So if it is sold or offered or exhibited for sale under a name which belongs to